Deep within the vast, landlocked heart of the Eurasian landmass, where the borders of Russia, Mongolia, China, and Kazakhstan collide, lies an ancient fortress of rock and ice. This is a landscape shaped by extreme isolation, controlled by the relentless forces of the Siberian High. In high-altitude valleys like Koshagak, winter does not merely arrive, it takes over. Temperatures here routinely plunge to a bone-crushing minus 50 degrees Celsius, turning every breath into a struggle. Yet, this savage stronghold hides a profound biological secret. The Altai is a living refugium. When the last great ice age wiped clean the canvas of the northern hemisphere, these deeply fractured, towering valleys acted as a sanctuary. They preserved prehistoric lineages and genetic traits that vanished almost everywhere else on Earth. From the heavens above, a shadow rips through the freezing fog. A lone hunter surveying a landscape where survival hangs by a thread. Welcome to the Altai Mountains, a prehistoric refuge of apex predators and shadow hunters. Right now, our journey begins. To understand this vertical world, it helps to see it through the eyes of its top predator. Cruising 2,000 meters above the caked, barren earth of the Usted Valley is the golden eagle, known scientifically as Aquila chrysetos. This apex avian predator is one of the most efficient aerial hunters on Earth. Weighing up to 14 pounds, with a frame built entirely of compact muscle and specialized feathers, it rules the thin atmosphere. But its greatest weapon is not its size. It is a visual system unlike anything humans possess. The golden eagle possesses eyesight that far exceeds human capability. Equipped with a unique double foveal retina, its eyes operate like high-powered telescopic lenses, granting a vision 8 times sharper than a human. As it circles the powerful thermals, its eyes constantly scan the monochromatic expanse below, capable of tracking the twitch of a small mammal miles away. Down on the valley floor, the landscape looks empty, a deceptive desert of gravel and shattered shale. But the eagle's gaze locks onto a subtle ripple in the stone. Deep within the labyrinth of crumbling rocks, a primitive ghost is hiding. This is the Pallas's cat, or Manuel. Unchanged for nearly 5 million years, this ancient feline is roughly the size of a typical domestic cat, but it appears as an oddly round, heavily furred phantom. To survive the merciless Altai climate, it has evolved the densest, thickest fur coat of any cat on the planet. Every square centimeter of its skin is packed with over 9,000 hairs, the densest fur of any feline on Earth, forming an impenetrable thermal shield against the biting frost. Yet, this supreme insulation comes with a significant trade-off. The Manuel possesses incredibly short, stubby legs, making it an exceptionally poor runner. In an open sprint, it is completely defenseless against larger predators. Therefore, its entire existence is governed by a single survival strategy: absolute immobility. This is the ultimate chess match of the steppes. A silent battle between the eagle's extraordinary vision and the cat's flawless frozen camouflage. The Pallas's cat flattens its low-slung ears, compresses its bulky body against a gray boulder, and transforms itself into a featureless stone. It does not move a single muscle. It barely breathes. Because out here, a single centimeter of movement is an immediate death sentence. But the cat's intense stillness is not just for defense. It is also its primary hunting strategy. It is patiently waiting for its own lifeline, the Altai pika. These small, egg-shaped herbivores are primitive relatives of rabbits, surviving in the harsh scree slopes by harvesting alpine grasses. They are one of the most important prey species in the Altai ecosystem, helping sustain countless predators throughout the changing seasons. A pika darts out from a dark crevice, its high-pitched warning whistle piercing the mountain silence. In a flash of lightning-fast precision, the manual strikes, securing its meal before vanishing back into the shadows of the rock pile. Above, the golden eagle tilts its wings, recognizing the hunt is no longer worth the effort. It shifts its flight path, moving away from the valley floor as the environment begins to change. As the brief, harsh summer surrenders to the golden hues of autumn, the Altai transforms. The blistering continental sun fades, replaced by dry, biting winds that sweep across the high ridges. The geography shifts dramatically as the terrain rises, transitioning from gravel valleys into sheer, vertical alpine meadows above 2,500 meters. Here, the mountains stand like silent granite sentinels, and the changing season triggers an ancient instinct in the Altai's largest herbivore. Echoing through the thin, oxygen-depleted air, a thunderous shockwave rattles the canyon walls. Two colossal forces have collided. These are the Argali wild sheep, known scientifically as Ovis ammon, the largest wild sheep on Earth. Standing over 4 feet tall at the shoulder, these massive bovids are built like tanks, adapted to survive on wind-swept ridges where snow cannot settle. But during the autumn rutting season, the peaceful herbivores turn into fierce rivals. The males carry a magnificent crown of immense spiraled horns that can weigh up to 22 kilograms. That is a weight equivalent to a human toddler on each side of their head. Driven by competition for breeding rights, 2 rival rams charge each other from 50 meters away, building terrifying momentum. When they crash, the impact carries the kinetic energy of a motorcycle collision. The sound is deafening, a sharp, metallic crack that can travel for miles through the barren valleys. Their skulls, reinforced with specialized internal shock absorbers and hollow bone spaces, prevent their brains from turning to mush. They will repeat this brutal, bone-jarring ritual for hours, fracturing horns and draining their vital energy reserves just before the true winter arrives. High above, the acoustic shockwave reaches the sensitive ears of the golden eagle. For the golden eagle, this sound is not a warning. It is an acoustic beacon. It is a dinner bell. The eagle knows that in this unforgiving territory, the line between victory and defeat is where weakness creates opportunity. A fractured horn, a misstepped leap off a cliff, or an exhausted ram dying of internal trauma means one thing: an influx of precious calories. The giant bird folds its wings, descending toward the high ridges, ready to profit from the aftermath of a mountain war. But as the final whispers of autumn are crushed beneath the advancing wall of winter, the Altai exposes its true, merciless teeth. The Siberian High locks the continent in an icy vice, draining all moisture and warmth from the air. Rivers transform into solid highways of glass, and the soil hardens into concrete. In this frozen wasteland, normal biological rules cease to function. Food is no longer just scarce, it is petrified, locked away inside armor of solid ice. To survive here, a creature requires more than just hunger. It requires madness. Emerging from the shadow of the frozen pine forests is the Wolverine, known to science as gulo. Resembling a small, heavily armored bear with the relentless temperament of a predator, this is the largest land-dwelling member of the weasel family. Weighing a mere 30 to 40 pounds, Explode is built for endurance, strength, and aggression. The Wolverine does not migrate, and it does not hibernate. It endures the frost. While other predators starve as carcasses freeze solid, the Wolverine thrives on what others leave behind. This survival is made possible by a remarkable evolutionary adaptation hidden inside its jaws. The Wolverine possesses a specialized upper first molar that is rotated 90 degrees inward toward the back of its mouth. Coupled with a unique mechanical cranial joint that physically locks the lower jaw into the skull, its mouth functions exactly like a pair of industrial wire cutters. With immense muscle leverage, it easily shears through bones and flesh that have been frozen as hard as granite. It consumes what most animals cannot, turning frozen death into vital energy. Its specialized fur, coarse and hydrophobic, refuses to retain moisture, ensuring that frost never forms against its skin. It is a solitary force in the winter wilderness, capable of driving predators twice its size, even solitary wolves, away from a kill through relentless aggression. Yet, even the madness of the Wolverine has its limits. When the mountain wind screams at gale force and visibility drops to zero. But where solitary fury isolates, cooperation creates a legendary defiance against the elements. Descending from the jagged ridges into the wind-swept basins, thin plumes of smoke rise from felt tents known as yurts. Here, at the edge of the habitable world, live the Kazakh nomads. For thousands of years, these resilient pastoralists have navigated the brutal Altai winters, moving their herds across treacherous terrains. In a landscape where a single winter storm can wipe out an entire family's wealth, survival demands an extraordinary partnership. They did not look to the earth for help. They looked to the heavens. This is the birthplace of Berkuchi, the ancient art of eagle hunting. This is not a bond of master and servant, but a deep partnership between man and predator. But the hunters do not choose just any bird. They only hunt with female golden eagles. In the avian world, predatory dominance belongs entirely to the matriarchs. Female golden eagles are up to 30% larger and significantly more aggressive than their male counterparts. With a massive wingspan exceeding 2.3 meters, these apex females possess the sheer mass and skeletal density required to endure high-impact combat. The Berkuchi takes the young female chick directly from the nest, raising her with intense reverence, feeding her from his own hand, until hunter and eagle operate as a single hunting team. When winter grips the steppe, the hunter rides his horse into the blinding white wilderness. The heavy female eagle perched majestically on his arm. The hunter spots a distant movement on the horizon and removes the tamaga, the leather hood. It is like flicking the safety switch off a loaded weapon. Their primary target is the steppe wolf, a predator that threatens the very survival of the nomad's livestock. The great female eagle launches into the sky, her wings biting into the freezing wind. She ascends, gaining a commanding height, utilizing the blinding glare of the winter sun to hide her approach. Then, she folds her wings, initiating her terrifying 320-kilometer-per-hour dive. She becomes a living projectile, dropping out of the sky with deadly precision. As she strikes the running wolf, her specialized rear talons drive forward, exerting 400 pounds per square inch of pressure. This devastating grip acts like hydraulic clamps, pinning the larger predator to the frozen earth. The hunter arrives on horseback to finish the hunt, securing the valuable fur and protecting his herd. Through this extraordinary partnership, the human and the eagle find a way to survive winter, transforming a deadly landscape into a bond forged by necessity and trust. Yet, while the human alliance thrives in the lower valleys, the highest reaches of the Altai remain largely inaccessible. As the elevation violently forces the terrain upward, the steppes completely vanish, replaced by the jagged, icy spires of Mount Belukha. Towering at an incredible 4,506 meters above sea level, this mountain is the sacred, frozen crown of Siberia. Up here, life is shaped by relentless hostility. The air becomes so thin that it starves the lungs of oxygen, and the atmospheric pressure drops to ghost-like levels. The wind behaves like an active, physical predator, screaming across sheer vertical cliffs sloped at a terrifying 60 degrees. In this white desert of perpetual ice and exposed granite, gravity becomes the final arbiter, instantly destroying anything that slips. Yet, even in this realm of endless cold, a pale shadow moves effortlessly across the impossible verticality. This is the snow leopard, known to science as Panthera uncea, the true ghost of the Altai Mountains. An apex predator of the extreme alpine zones, this solitary cat is an animal surrounded by ancient myth and remarkable adaptation. It is uniquely adapted to inhabit a world where a single misstep means a fall of thousands of feet into the void. Weighing anywhere between 60 to 120 pounds, the snow leopard's entire anatomy is a lesson in high-altitude survival. Its body is relatively low to the ground, but its chest is massively developed, housing an oversized heart and immense lung capacity. Inside its skull, the nasal cavities are uniquely enlarged and elongated. This specific evolutionary design functions as an internal heat exchanger, warming the freezing alpine air before it ever reaches the delicate tissues of its lungs. Its coat is a dense, plush matrix of gray and white fur, marked with dark rosettes that mirror the patterns of fractured ice and shadow on the stone. The paws of the snow leopard are massive, structurally proportioned to act as natural, built-in snowshoes. They distribute its body weight perfectly across treacherous glaciers and unstable crumbling shale, preventing it from sinking into deep drifts. But its most remarkable weapon against the deadly void of the cliffs is its extraordinary, iconic tail. Measuring nearly a meter long, equivalent to the entire length of its head and body combined, this thick appendage is heavily muscled. It operates continuously as an organic balancing system. When the snow leopard launches its body across a terrifying 15-meter abyss to chase prey, its tail becomes essential. In midair, as the cat hangs suspended over the lethal canyon, its tail twists, rotates, and swings in direct opposition to the movement of its body. This dynamic motion constantly adjusts the animal's center of mass in real time, stabilizing its trajectory against the unpredictable mountain crosswinds. This allows the phantom cat to land with extraordinary precision on narrow ledges, maintaining control where few animals could survive. However, the ghost of the mountain does not rule these cliffs alone. From the blinding, unclouded glare of the upper atmosphere, another watchful observer surveys the slopes. The great female golden eagle, ever vigilant on her thermal currents, locks her telescopic gaze onto the pale predator below. An intense rivalry exists between the ruler of the sky and the phantom of the snow. They are two of the most formidable predators in the Altai peaks, and their paths occasionally cross. When the snow leopard successfully hunts a Siberian ibex on a perilous icy ledge, the eagle sees an opportunity. She does not dive to kill the leopard, for the cat is too powerful, but she intends to harass, intimidate, and steal. The giant bird folds her wings, initiating a terrifying, high-velocity dive, slicing directly through the intense mountain turbulence. She sweeps incredibly low over the cliff face, her massive 2.3-meter wingspan creating miniature storms of frost. The sudden, explosive rush of feathers panics the snow leopard, forcing the feline to defend its hard-earned meal on the edge of a deadly drop. The snow leopard unleashes a raspy, guttural growl that echoes off the granite, swinging its massive paws with lethal intent. Balanced precariously on the 60-degree slope, the cat must use its tail to maintain its footing against the violent drafts caused by the eagle's wings. It is a dramatic confrontation between two highly specialized predators on the roof of the world. The eagle snaps her beak, talons extended, distracting the cat, trying to force it to abandon a piece of the carcass over the edge. Eventually, realizing the leopard's grip on the stone is unbreakable, the great bird retreats back into the high clouds. It is a striking reminder that, on the peaks of Altai, no single hunter dominates every encounter, and every meal is paid for with risk. This relentless cycle of conflict, adaptation, and survival continues for uncounted generations. It is a continuous loop of life and death, shaped by the cold mechanics of the mountain itself. But for some eagles, the journey through this brutal paradise takes a deeply emotional turn. Down in the lower valleys, after a decade of hunting in perfect synchronization alongside her human partner, the great female eagle reaches a biological crossroad. She has reached her peak reproductive maturity, and the ancient instincts of her ancestors begin to stir. Her instincts call her away from the world of men, demanding she return to the highest, wildest peaks to find a mate and continue her lineage. The Kazakh hunter, possessing the wisdom of a tradition that has endured for generations, understands this unspoken call. The bond that helped them survive the frost must now come to an end for the future of the species. In the bitter yet welcoming light of early spring, when the ice just begins to crack, the Berkuchi carries his magnificent partner one last time. They travel deep into the mountains, ascending to the highest, most isolated ridge that faces the rising morning sun. he removed the tamaga for the final time, exposing her eyes to the endless horizon of her youth. He places a massive, rich portion of mutton on the stone beside her, a final offering of gratitude for 10 years of shared survival and loyalty. With a heavy heart and an outstretched arm, the hunter releases the great matriarch into the wind. She spreads her wings, catching a powerful thermal that lifts her higher and higher into the alpine sky. And then, the hunter does the hardest thing a Berkuchi must do. He turns his horse around and begins the long descent back to the valley. He refuses to look back. He forces his eyes to stay fixed on the path ahead, resisting the overwhelming urge to check the sky. Because he knows the ancient belief of his people. According to tradition, if he turns his head and their eyes meet one final time, the bond between hunter and eagle may call her back. She might abandon the freedom of the mountains and return to the life she once shared beside him. So he leaves her completely to the wind, sacrificing his own companion so that future generations of eagles may continue to rule these peaks. The Altai Mountains remain as they have for millions of years, an unforgiving refuge shaped by isolation and survival. It is a vertical fortress of rock and ice, where the Siberian frost relentlessly tests every living thing. From the frozen camouflage of the Pallas's cat to the astonishing leaps of the solitary snow leopard. And from the bone-shattering battles of the giant Argali sheep to the ancient alliance of the Kazakh nomads. Life in this isolated refugium does not merely exist against the odds. It endures. And high above the icy peaks of Mount Beluga, the shadow of the great female eagle still circles on the mountain winds. A lasting symbol of freedom, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the wild. If you felt the primeval spirit of the wild calling through this journey, hit the like button and subscribe to Bio Anomalies. Join us as we continue to explore the greatest biological mysteries and the remarkable survivors of our planet. Until next time, the horizon awaits.